Hi.
Welcome to our last one for calendar 2025, and we thought we'd just sort of pick on a bit of a pre-Christmas theme, just a bit of a chat about. It was an interesting stat you just brought to my attention that on average $800 per person is spent in the Christmas period, I suppose, or Christmas gifts, or whatever they define it as.
It was an ASIC stat, so the average family spends $800 per person on Christmas. So if you're a family of two, $1,600, family of five, it really starts to stack up. So a bit of money getting spent there. Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite a lumpy number. I hadn't given too much thought, but it's interesting setup there. And so just want to have a bit of a chat about how do you go, Josh, managing that? Do you have a bit of a plan leading into Christmas, or what do you do between now and Christmas for anything might pop up?
Yeah, so I'm kind of known for over planning, so I typically do have a plan and a spreadsheet for everything, but there is always last minute things that do blow things out a little bit. Generally for me, it's visiting my family in Newcastle. It's all those flights or getting a ferry. They add up quite a bit when you're going from Tasmania, but other than that, assuming I've done everything right and budgeted it, it's usually those last minute gifts when I'm going from this house to this house. I think, do I need to bring a bottle of wine or some chocolates? And you feel a little bit guilty that you haven't planned it out, and you end up buying 2 boxes of chocolates or 2 bottles of wine, and that's typically how I...
Favourites or...?
Favourites is always the go-to. You got to keep it general. You don't want to just buy cherry ripe, otherwise you might have... Most of the room doesn't want to eat it. What about you? What's your blowout?
I said before we went on air that my wife Jenny's my anchor. She's a bit more of a planner than me. I just go off the ride. But it's interesting, like for us, it's an adult kids, so, what's the gift giving group look like, and having those conversations. You're looking for different types of gifts, if it's younger kids or whatever, right? Different types of relatives, so have that conversation, and just having that conversation, like what's a reasonable amount to spend per child, because you sort of ask them, okay, what do you want, and then sometimes you get someone wants a $3,000 mountain bike, and so as a group purchase, and someone else might say, I just want a $50 gift card because I just want to go to the shop. So it's
a good point, because kids will tell you what they want. Adults typically buy things for themselves as well, so it's hard to shop for that. I'm curious, do you typically find you're buying 5 smaller gifts or 1 larger gift, and does that change as your kids were young versus when they're older?
It's changed to just basically 1 or 2 primary gifts, and then we have the debate in the family. Do you buy for the couple, or do you buy for the individuals as you get they get spouses or partners? And so just delegating all that, it's always interesting. So
and do you find with Jenny doing most of your shopping that you get the Christmas card from one of the kids that says from Dad, and you're kind of just as surprised to see what they've got as they are?
No, I do. Jenny's forced me to help wrap the presents, so I have a bit of not quality control, but just an input at the end. And I've learned not to make any comment at that point in time whether that was the most appropriate gift for that child or not. Yeah. He's just like, we're going with it.
Well, it's funny as an adult looking back, because I remember different gifts that my parents would buy, and you'd hear comments from my dad similar to like, so we did decide to buy him that bike, and it's a bit of a surprise as well. And I suppose that ties into when you get wrong with that Christmas spirit. So in that example, I said, my mum went ahead and bought some extra bikes that hadn't been vetted by the family, and sometimes that can be the January hangover, I guess, that can come with maybe going a little bit overindulging over Christmas and using Afterpay, credit cards, those types of things, and then having to deal with that in the new year.
It was interesting. I was chatting to a business colleague of mine this week, and he's in the retail space, and historically people have gone with Afterpay, but he's noticed this year a trend for the traditional lay-by that he wasn't geared for. People said, I want to do a lay-by, I want to put money aside and pay you to build up for, it was a gift, the items are probably $300-400, so it's a significant purchase. So he's trying to develop an app to cover the old method, which is just fascinating. What he was picking up in the online environment, that there's been a shift, because I didn't explore it fully, but he said, I think the Afterpay, they must have changed some regulations so that it appears on people's credit history or something like that now. So anyway, there was a bit of a change that meant people said,
yes.
Afterpay wasn't a free hit, it was what it was, say 12 months ago.
Yeah, it never used to be a credit product, whereas now it's considered a credit product,
right,
so
okay.
It can affect your credit score, and that's probably a handy tip, for those listening. It's not just credit cards and formal loans these days, it's those other services that can also affect your credit score if you're looking to re-borrow money or get into a car lease, whatever it might be. Anything that requires credit, these things all stack up and can work against you if they're not used effectively.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe too late for this Christmas for people, but I suppose it just takes us back to a bit more of a planned approach is what I suppose the whole point of our dialogue today. The more planning you do, the less costs you have, because if you're doing stuff on the 24th of December, you're not going to get a special on any items at that point in time.
Well, it can still work. If you're doing last minute gifts, maybe it makes sense to do a Merry Christmas card and say, look, we'll go shopping on Boxing Day or something when the sales come, because if you can buy the same item for 10-15% less, why wouldn't you? So
that'll be an interesting family dynamic challenge.
It's not my style, because I think going to a shopping centre with that much chaos, I'd rather just pay the extra 10 or 15% rather than go to a Boxing Day. But to each their own on that one.
I suppose the main point is just have a bit of a plan, chat about with your family, come up with what's appropriate and for gift giving and go from there.
Yeah, and look, as I like to do, I'll throw a quote / analogy in there, and it's you plan the work and then you work the plan. So good to map out what Christmas and the New Year looks like. Probably a good reminder, and this probably isn't too early, but the New Year is often a nice line in the sand for people to go, I've got some goals as a family, what's my resolution, new me, New Year, new me. It's a good reflection for those who maybe want to get their finances under control, to have a conversation with a financial planner or an accountant and say, look, this is what I want to achieve over the next 12 months, how do I work towards it? You don't necessarily have to wait until next year.
No, it's always a time for reflection, and chatting to people around the barbecue or whatever over summer break and with your family, and there might be opportunities or conversations to say, I want to start with a new objective or a different objective, or maybe the objective you started with in 2025 and didn't achieve, you want to refresh it in terms of getting control of your finances or planning for your future, stuff like that.
I think what you just brought up about that barbecue chat's actually a really good one to probably touch on, because as clients and new people who might not have heard us before, as you go to these different events and you're sitting around having Christmas dinner, everyone has an uncle who thinks property's the best thing, and everyone's got an auntie who loves her term deposits, and that crazy cousin who's off doing crypto. And so I'd encourage people to not necessarily follow the noise, because those people don't know what your goals and objectives are. And to use a quick analogy, everyone here's probably played paper, scissors and rock. If I said to you, which one's the best one, how would you answer it?
Oh, rock always wins in my game.
Well, this is the thing. So if I had paper, now you know which one the best one that you should do is. And that's where, for some people, a self-managed super fund might make sense. For some people, you should go out and start a business, but some people don't have the temperament for it. In the same way, some people are so entrepreneurial, they'd make a terrible employee. So that's where it's really important as you go to these barbecue chats, not just, you can definitely listen and take things into account, but don't just go making decisions. And certainly if you are a client, our style and how each pulley and lever affects so many things, feel free to reach out to those people, and, we're happy to take a call and see how we might be able to help them.
It's the old, it depends.
Absolutely, it's the best answer, isn't it? It really does depend. The advice for you might not be relevant for your neighbour.
I like the thing you've raised about the hero gift instead of 5 little ones. I really like that approach. Just reminded me of years ago I read Scott Pape's book, and he was about being a bit more frugal and people spending. But he was similar concept where he said for him it was like he would go over the top with his pillow. That was just his one thing that he wouldn't skimp on. So everything else might be average around him, but when he was young, it's like his pillow was just top of the line. So it's sort of like a similar concept to hero gift, or watching your pennies on some aspects, but then there's one deliberate item that you go, I'm spending for yourself or your partner or family, stuff like that. So I thought that's a nice, good approach. The other one I'm interested in is this memory dividend. Do you want to just do a little thumbnail sketch, or that's giving it justice?
We can do a little bit of time on that. So to me, it's Christmas, at least from my perspective, is more about the memories you create, not necessarily the dollars that you spend. Yeah. And so sometimes it can be, look, do I buy each of the grandchildren a gift, or do I go all in and buy one of the inflatable bouncing castles that has a hose, and then all the aunties and uncles get involved, and all of a sudden you can end up spending less money but having a much better experience that they remember for years to come. So I think it's sometimes just, again, with a bit of planning, taking a step back and going, what's going to bring the family together, what's going to have all the laughs and that reminiscing, quality time. So paying memory dividends.
That's a good approach. That it's something to bear in mind. Like, is it more just the gift giving or getting together and just sort of sharing experiences together?
Look, it could be as simple as a backyard cricket set, and all of a sudden the whole family gets involved and money well spent.
I like those pump action water pistols.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure if they're banned now, because they're sort of a bit, pump action's probably not the right toy anymore. Anyway, people out there would probably know more than me about that.
Yeah.
But that sort of shared activity, like even like going back to the old traditional board games, or I was at a business function yesterday morning, and there was like whatever it calls it, the Secret Santa, and you go to trade or whatever they call that one, and it's Finska, which is sort of the blocks with the numbers on it. You got to knock them down and add the numbers on. That was the most popular item. Normally wine and other stuff, chocolate does the rounds, but this is the hottest one. I thought, that's really cool.
I think there's a bit of a renaissance going back to some of the old school things. It'd be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's a nice collective game, or whatever it might be, activity to bear in mind there. So what's Christmas look like for you then, Josh? What are your plans?
So I've got family coming to Tassie this year, which is good. So I don't have to do all the...
Save money.
That's good. I don't have to do all the flying, and can stay close to home. So that's me. Hopefully a bit of camping. So bought a collie in the back of the ute with a couple of swags, and maybe do a bit of hiking. There's quite a lot of places we can go to in Tassie. So
Beck's in the swag as well.
And so we've got two swags. Right. So Beck and I share one, but then Luna has her own swag. So she's a very spoiled dog.
Wow.
She absolutely loves it. That's my plan.
That's good. Well, I'm going the other way. I'm going out to New South Wales. Your old hunting grounds. So the youngest daughter lives up at a little place called Old Bar, just a couple of hours north of Newcastle. So catching up with them, and I've got cousins in Newcastle, so spending Christmas Day with them, and then a couple of weeks there, and then off to the cricket in the new year, which is always exciting for me. Not so much for Jenny, but it's all right. We plan for our differences.
Sounds good.
It's worked our way. So thanks for tuning in for 2025, and I hope everyone has a safe and happy break, and catch up with their family, and not get too sort of chaotic or lose sight of what the whole purpose of Christmas and end of year celebration is. So
it's happy, healthy, wealthy. So enjoy yourselves. You have a lot of fun, and we'll see you in the new year. Merry Christmas.